Crystal Palace is about to take on Manchester City in the FA Cup final today. A team that is currently sat mid-table in the Premier League, has never played European football, has never won any of the 3 major trophies in England, might be able to make history today. Winning the FA Cup and qualifying for European football for the first time ever could become reality. For me, Crystal Palace represents the best career mode series I ever done on YouTube, back in FIFA 15. So with my connection to the team and the hopes of a historic night of football for Crystal Palace, it's time to rebuild them. So how about we start in the 12th position as it is in real life for Crystal Palace right now. And to start things off, let me just show you the legends from my FIFA 15 career mode and where they are now. I had Eric Dyer and Björn Engels at centre-back. Engels now 67 rated, 30 years old. Eric Dyer actually had a pretty decent career and finally has won a trophy with Bayern Munich. Now I believe he's moving to AS Monaco. Then we had Federico Di Marco in my team, which is someone I can't even remember. I can't believe I had him in my team back then. He didn't even have a picture in the game. So he actually turned out incredible. Ozan Tufan is currently playing for Trabzonspor, 30 years old. Højbjerg is 29, playing at Marseille. Nathan Redmond was an insane winger for me back in the day. 31 years old now. Salih Uçan, 72. Ward-Prowse was 90 rated for me back in FIFA 15, and that was insane. He was such a good player. I also had Mario Götze. And there is one of the legends, Yusuf Poulsen, 30 years old, 76 rated, incredible striker all throughout my Crystal Palace career mode. And then there was Dwight Gale. Ah, man, if you have been on this channel for a long time, since the old days of FIFA 15, please let the people know what Dwight Gale was about, man. He was insane, and apparently he has just today announced that he is retiring. And then obviously I had Zaha as well, but looking at all these players, I'm seeing some opportunities to use them again in today's Crystal Palace career mode. Having said all that, let's return to reality and see Mateta is currently the top performer for Crystal Palace alongside Eze. Sarr has had a good comeback into Premier League football. Obviously, he used to play for Watford at one point. I believe then he went over to France to play there. And now he's back in the Prem doing well. Munoz is from Genk, I believe. He came from the Belgian league and has been quite good, up at an 80 rating as we speak. And Ketia never really turned out to be that player that many people thought he could be. Gehi is currently one of those players that is linked to basically every top Premier League club, as they are expecting him to make that next move as he becomes a proper starter in the England national setup. But looking at the team right here, you can tell it is quite an interesting one, specifically with Adam Wharton as well, who also has been linked to so many teams and people expected him to leave last summer. It could be happening this summer as well. But most importantly, Glasner, the coach that had come from Eintracht Frankfurt to join this Crystal Palace team, has actually done a decent job. And if he ends up winning the FA Cup, he's already a legend at Crystal Palace. So what I'm going to do right now is to go ahead and sign some of the best coaches I can find for this team, and then simulate to the end of the season to see what happens. Can this team win the FA Cup without me doing anything? Now, even though we could get to the season finale straight away, I actually want to jump into this game myself and see what happens. In terms of jumping into it, we want to simulate it right in front of your eyes. But this game that is happening today on the 17th of May, it is about 6 hours away from when I'm recording right now. But by the end of this video, we will probably know the result of the game. Maybe we get to celebrate along Crystal Palace, or we can be sad about it. But here it goes. Come on then. Can you win it? No. 3-1. Grealish, Gundogan, Haaland. Mateta scores first. Crystal Palace get their hopes up, and then it is all crushed. Ah, boy. That's unfortunate. Actually, I'm wondering just now, if Manchester City win the FA Cup, they are already qualified for Champions League football. Does that mean Crystal Palace does get European football nonetheless? I have to look this up. And so Palace end the season in the 12th position with 49 points this time around. And look, in the starting 11, we don't necessarily see a ton of changes in terms of overall. We were only here for a couple of weeks. This next season's transfer window is going to be very important because some big Crystal Palace players are rumored to leave. But let's also keep in mind that a bunch of players' contracts are running out as we speak. And this is one of them, Tyrick Mitchell. Tottenham are preparing a summer swoop for Crystal Palace left back Tyrick Mitchell as we speak. And funnily enough, his contract ran out with our team and he has gone to Tottenham. So maybe this is a sign of what's to come, but Mitchell is actually gone. And I'm actually very surprised that no one is talking about him. Everyone is talking about Kerkez from Bournemouth, but this guy is out of his contract. He could be had for free. So I don't know what's happening here. Just in case you're wondering, contract expires 30th of June 2025 according to Transfermarkt. So that's why I'm letting him go. Otherwise, I would never. Finally, my first signing. Yusuf Poulsen is the one I want to bring back into my Crystal Palace journey. I'm telling you right now, this has me so excited. It is bringing back memories. Odds on Edouard plus 2 million to get this deal done. Edouard, I believe, has come back from a loan deal. 76 rated backup striker. Okay, so that is what I wanted and that is what I've gotten. He comes in here with that 76 and he's going to back up the likes of Mateta, whose contract is going to be running out this season. Not in real life, but in real life it will be the next season. But it's going to be interesting to see what Crystal Palace does there as well, because I would imagine he probably isn't going to be extending, hoping for a big move. And if that big move was to come and Crystal Palace wanted to cash in on him, it has to happen this summer. But Yusuf Poulsen comes in at the age of 31 now, which is mad when you think of the fact that I used him in FIFA 15, which is obviously like 10 years ago. Oh my god, bro. And at that point, he was like 21 years old. Or what, like 20 years old actually, because he is currently 30 in real life. But man, he's back at Crystal Palace. Now with Mitchell gone, I have decided to switch to a 3-5-2 formation. Why? Because I want to put Poulsen into the starting 11 at the age of 31. I want to have at least one season of his performances in this team, but also at the same time because Sarr can play on the wings. Munoz will be turned into a right midfielder. Dokore is back from his knee injury. He can play alongside Wharton. Eze is going to be playing in that cam position. And at this stage, I have to make a decision. Realistically speaking, how many of the players named Gehi, Wharton, and Eze will actually be in this team come next season? How many of them will be picked up? Eze is currently linked to Manchester City, Tottenham, Arsenal, Newcastle, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Chelsea. For Gehi, we have Tottenham, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Newcastle, and Man City, and even Real Madrid and Barcelona, because apparently Gehi wants to run down his contract and join one of those two teams. And yes, his contract is running out. So for me, he's actually the most likely to be sold in this summer, because that way Crystal Palace can cash in on him. And so Gehi is leaving our team to join Chelsea for about 34 million. And now, thanks to the sale, we have 112 million pounds to spend. I have just signed Flavian Enzo Boyomo for 25 million, and I completely bottled the transfer scene. But anyways, here we are with a player who is linked to many Premier League clubs as we speak. The reason behind it is he's a young player, 5'11" tall centre-back, who's actually doing a pretty good job at Osasuna as we speak. And Osasuna is a team that cannot hold back many players from going into the Premier League. Boyomo is someone who would be the perfect replacement for someone like Gehi. I'm telling you right now, this guy's moving into the Prem in this upcoming summer transfer window. So don't be surprised if Gehi goes. This could be one that makes sense. But then at the same time, he's also linked a lot to Aston Villa and also Brighton. And in Spain itself, Boyomo is linked to Villarreal. So this is a player I'm very, very happy to bring into the squad, because I feel like he fits in perfectly in terms of age, in terms of his rating. He has 80 pace, 80 defending, 83 physicality, and the aerial playstyle, even though he's 5'11". That looks perfect to me. There's a man whose contract is running out as we speak at PSV Eindhoven. He has been one of the best defenders in the Eredivisie for a very, very long time, and a lot of clubs want him. But over here, what the hell? Not this one. I've loaned out a bunch of players, just so you know. It'll probably keep going. Yeah, it just keeps going. Can we get to the player that actually got into the team? There we go. Finally, after 4 players. 23.7 million I paid for him because in-game he probably extended his contract. Boskagli is a player that now comes into this team to take over from Richards, who has been in and out of the starting 11 many times throughout the years. And Boskagli is left-footed, left-sided centre-back in a back 3. 27 years old, not the most pace, but he's passing 77, he's dribbling 78, defending 80, physicality 76, 5'11", same as Boyomo, and he comes in with the playstyles of long ball pass and intercept. I've seen this guy play plenty of times. He is incredible on the ball. I even saw him play alongside Branthwaite in that PSV setup, which also looked very, very good. So Boskagli now finally makes his way into Premier League football as a 27-year-old. And as the final transfer this season, Barry is joining into our team. Now, a lot of people might not be familiar with this guy, but for Villarreal in this past year football, he has gotten 16 goals and 3 assists. And why am I getting him into the team? First of all, 15 million is what I paid for him. He comes in at a 76 rating to become a backup striker in this team. I'm assuming I'm gonna send Franca out on loan if I can, but Barry comes in with 84 pace, 74 shooting, 76 dribbling, 74 physicality, 6'5". I got him into the team as the new Mateta. So Mateta, as you guys know, is pretty good at what he does. He comes in at 6'4", and Barry is basically the next Mateta, but he has more pace. He has a lot of pace, actually, and a little bit better at dribbling. Apart from that, the shooting, the passing, physicality, all those things are going Mateta's way for now, but Barry is going to take over at some point. So I am very excited to have a 6'5" tall French striker ready to roll when his time comes. In our first full season, we finished above Manchester United and West Ham in the 10th position. So honestly, I will take that. It's not too bad. And look, the starting 11, Paulsen has gone up to a 77, which is amazing to see, but I am assuming that Barry has now taken over. So Paulsen can become a super sub, like Dwight Gale back in the day for me. And then we have Eze, who's only on an 82. He hasn't grown much, which is a bit of a letdown. I feel like keeping Eze for 1 season is good enough, but at some point it's kind of clear he will have to move on as well. We finished in the 12th position and now in 10th. Eze probably has some teams that have finished above us that are very interested in him. So in this upcoming transfer window, we will let him go as well. And then finally, at some point, it will probably have to be Adam Wharton as well. It's just a harsh reality of being a Premier League team that is mid-table. And especially if you have English players doing well, then all the big clubs want to sign them because of the homegrown rule. But hey, this season, Mateta has still delivered. 26-6 from the striker. Paulsen 16-5. I really appreciate that. Eze coming in with 11-10. Sar on that left-hand side, 6-4. And by the way, I probably forgot to show you guys which players have gone out on loan, which players have actually sold and all that good stuff. So let's start right here. As we go down the list, you'll see Phillips has been sold. Riyad, who is a big talent, has been sent out on loan to River Plate, which is going to be fun. Devaney out on loan to Leganes. I believe that is Leganes. Then we have Agbinone, Umolu, Ahamada, Porra, Adaramola. Wow, these names are tough to read. And then we have Luke Plange and also, or Plange, whatever his name is. Bro, can you guys get normal names? Also, see, that's simple. Esse is out on loan as well. Franca as well. So all these guys are out on loan. And hopefully some of them could be useful down the line. 83 million this season in our budget. And now that Eze is leaving the club to join Manchester City, we have taken our budget above 100 million since he's leaving for 35. And with Eze leaving, it's time for Enzo Mio, a center-attacking midfielder from Stuttgart who is looking for that next move in his career. And Crystal Palace could be perfect for him. Since Stuttgart hasn't done as well as last season, they are a lot out of form, and this could be the next step for this man's career. He comes in for 40 million into our team at a rating of 82 as well, same as Eze. but he is only 23 years old. He's left-footed, 80 pace on him, 79 passing, 85 dribbling, 4-star skill moves with 3 very, very good play styles, especially the incisive pass. So with that being said, and I'm actually really happy with how this team is being built right now. I feel like it's been some time since I've done somewhat of a realistic career mode where I try to really, you know, do things that would make sense a lot. I mean, I try to do that in every single video I do, but obviously I don't try to be too close to reality and just try to have fun. But with this one, hey, I'm going a new route a little bit, but Mio is a beast and he could be looking for a new team soon enough. This next player walking in is one that Glasner knows very well. Ansgar Knauf is an incredible all-rounder, and I was in the stadium when Eintracht played against Barcelona and he smashed in a volley from miles out into the top corner and the stadium went absolutely mental, bro. I'm telling you right now. We signed him now for 25 million as one of the players that Glasner knows already. And he's going to take over that left midfield position for me. For Eintracht, in this past season, he's played as a left mid, has played as a cam, and even as a right midfielder as well. So for us, he's going to go onto that left-hand side. 91 pace, 80 dribbling, 5'11", rapid play style. That is why we have brought this young man into the team. Things have changed all of a sudden. Crystal Palace have finished 4th with 71 points. And for me, that means Champions League football, and on top of it, the players that we have don't necessarily have a reason to leave. We're a Champions League club now. And that is coming because, I guess, a lot of growth. Mateta up to an 83, now 29 years old. Mio up to an 85. Knauf 84, yes. Borton 85, and defensively we're seeing growth. Boyomo up to an 85 as well. Where the hell did my goalkeeper go? Henderson got purchased by someone. He must have had a release clause. Okay, that's a bit insane. How the hell did we get 4th with Whitworth in goal? I'm impressed. But let me just quickly go into the squad hub here and see the stats. We have 25 and 7 from Mateta, 15 and 10 from Mio, and then 11 and 1 from Barry. Housen played again. He actually played more games than Barry. Oh, wow. That might be a bit of an issue. But Knauf, 10 and 11. Very, very good for us. So as we go into the next season, we get to keep a hold of the players that should have potentially left, but I don't know if we can repeat this next season. It feels a bit early. So whilst we can, I still have about 73 million in the budget. I might as well spend this before the season is over. So now for about 33 million, I am signing Luis Jr., the Villarreal goalkeeper who in our save is playing for Brentford, and obviously Brentford is not a Champions League club, so why not just go ahead and sign this Brazilian into our team? 70k in the wages. Come on then. Join us, buddy. So Junior takes over his position at the age of 26. 6'4" tall. Long ball pass, far throw, cross claimer, and deflector on him. This could be a generational talent for our team. Well, Decore is not growing at all, so we have to make a tough decision. And this is that decision. That man is a Mallorca midfielder, and now he is our midfielder. Samu Costa, 30 million I paid for him because his contract is running out. This is a man who's actually valued at around 30, so I'm very happy to bring him into the squad. Drop Decore onto the bench. Take Holding out of it. I'm probably going to get rid of Lerma as well, even though I don't have to. We have 2 good backups there. So now the man comes in and takes over his position. He's a left-footed player, so Wharton can go over. Oh no, Wharton is left-footed as well. He's a 5-star weak foot now. Anyways, Costa comes in. Not too much pace. Okay shooting. Passing is decent. Dribbling is decent. But most importantly, defending and physicality looks very good. 6 foot tall and 3 very good play styles. I'm actually very satisfied with this. It makes sense. We have become a Champions League club, but even if we wouldn't have become a Champions League club, buying a player from Mallorca for Crystal Palace should be an easy job. So, Costa, welcome into the team at the age of 26. Munoz is a great player and has been a great servant to the club of Crystal Palace, but he is getting old, so I'm signing Roger Fernandez, a Braga talent in our save, playing for Arsenal. 45 million I had to pay for this one. He comes in at the 82 rating, which is basically the same rating as Munoz, so they can fight for their position. We also have Raksaki, who is a decent talent, but He has been loaned out to a different club, not necessarily performing so well from what I've seen in his stats. So I didn't really put too much effort into trying to involve him into this career mode. But I'm going to take... Yeah, Raksaki. No, I'm actually possibly going to get rid of Nketiah or Yusuf Poulsen. He's 33. Let's take him out of the bench. Let's bring in Fernandes, who now takes over his position as the backup to Munoz. But only 21 years old, left-footed, 5'5", amazing stats on him with 3 really good play styles. I'm personally expecting for him to take over within a month or 2. And then from that point on, he's going to be the starter in that position. See, I knew it. It changed. Crystal Palace drops down into the 7th position with 61 points, missing out on Champions League football completely. And look, it will become better next season. Where did we drop out though? We came 22nd. Okay. Playoffs. Who beat us? Oh, we got past PSV Eindhoven. And then, who beat us then? It was... No, we got past Celtic too. Hold on a second. Bayern Munich. Only Bayern Munich was able to kick us out. Having said that, Celtic and also PSV aren't really the toughest opponents, so we got quite far until we faced up against a team that is just way better, and this is how the team is looking at the moment. Barry on an 84, Mateta now 30 years old, 85 rated, Mio on an 87, Wharton and Costa looking good. Both players on the wings are solid for now. Boyomo 86, Lacroix on that 84, Boscagli on the 85. Now, Boscagli is 30 years old, and the same goes for Mateta, so maybe those are 2 positions that I might be focusing on as we go into the next season. But I gotta say, 7th, I expected a little bit more, maybe like 5th. But hey, here we are, Mateta, 31 goal contributions, 38 from Barry, 31 from Mio. Knauf, 6 and 5. Munoz has still played plenty of games, even Raksaki has played. Fernandes only 18 games in, only a +1 this season. Was that a failure of a signing? I don't know. We'll see about that in the upcoming season. Hopefully he can fix himself up, but that season wasn't as good as I hoped. We only have the Premier League and the FA Cup, Carabao Cup coming up next year. Alice, Munoz. Eze! He scored! 16 minutes in! He's done it! He's actually freaking done it. Can you believe it? Crystal Palace is leading. And well, here I am with 150 million in the budget. Crystal Palace might actually win the FA Cup, bro. And just now, Konate is joining us in a swap deal for Mateta plus money. 84 rated striker. I am getting rid of some of the older players, as you can tell. 24 years old, 88 pace, 83 shooting, 87 dribbling, 5'10" with the rapid play style. He is now the new striking partner of Barry, who is obviously Mateta 2.0 for us anyways. Now I'm looking at Boscagli. He's 30 years old. He can still play in this team, and the same goes for Mateta, but I am trying to bring in a bit of a fresh wind into this team. I have to say, Lacroix is disappointing me a little bit. He hasn't grown as much as I hoped he would. So, yeah, it'll be a tough decision. It is actually done. I am back. I was watching the game and Crystal Palace have done it. Look at it. Incredible. Crystal Palace, congratulations. You have won your first major trophy in England and you are going to Europe. Castello Luqueba, a former Olympique Lyon centre-back / left-back, is now joining into our team. And I have paid about 65 million for him. And he's going to walk straight into the club and he's going to fight for a position. And that position might actually currently be the one of Lacroix. So Boscagli goes into the center. Luqueba goes into the left center-back position. Left-footed, 6 foot tall. Very, very good player and only 25 years old at this stage. So I still have plenty of money, but I want to stick with this team. From this point on, I just wanted to bring in a center-back. Still mad that Crystal Palace finally won a major trophy, man. I'm so happy for them. Crystal Palace in the second position, just 3 points off Manchester City to win the title. We are going to be winning our first trophy soon enough. Not yet in the Carabao Cup and in the FA Cup, well, that didn't happen either. We haven't made it far enough in any of those competitions yet. But as I said, our time will come. But here it is. Barry 87, Konate 86, Mio up to an 88, Knauf up to an 87. By the way, I also watched the Eintracht Frankfurt versus Freiburg game today. Whoever would have won that game goes into the Champions League. Now, Eintracht Frankfurt has won. Knauf scored a ridiculous goal, which was kind of helped by the defender's mistake. But Dortmund and Eintracht Frankfurt are through into the Champions League, with Freiburg dropping into the Europa League. So seeing Knauf just now, I was just thinking about that, so I wanted to share it. Boskagli now, as a 31-year-old, has gone up to an 87, which is really impressive. And good news, Fernandes has gone up to an 86, and that's very important. By the way, Munoz's performance in that FA Cup final was incredible. What a player. Yes, Doku got past him a couple of times, but still, he put up a great performance and got an assist in the final. So congratulations again, Crystal Palace, man. You guys have done such an insane job. And City is going out of the season with no trophies. No Premier League, no Carabao Cup, and no FA Cup, which is mental. Palace have done it. 92 points, winning the Premier League title easily this time around. And that's not all. Crystal Palace finished 22nd in the Champions League. Isn't that the same spot where we finished last time we were in the Champions League? Anyways, then we went on to play in the playoffs against Salzburg, 7-1. Round of 16, it was against Bayern Munich, 7-0. I don't think I've ever beaten such a good team with such a record. That's insane. Quarterfinals, we beat Manchester United. Semi-finals, Juventus. And now facing Atletico Madrid in the Champions League final. That is what Crystal Palace have achieved now. And they've done it with this team right here. Barry 91, Konate 90, Mio 90, Knauf. He's not getting there yet, and the same goes for Fernandes. Wharton 88, Costa 90, Lukeba 89. Boskagli is injured. It should be okay by the time the game comes up against Juventus, against Atletico Madrid. Boyomo on a 90, Junior on a 90 as well, and a solid bench actually. Not too bad for my liking, right? Because it tends to be terrible when I actually control or try to bring in players only for the starting 11. And here's the Palace team with 42-10 from Konate, 30-18 from Barry, 21-11 from Knauf, 10-11 from Fernandes, and then Mio with the 10-11 as well. I gotta say, one thing I'm very proud of with this rebuild specifically is that all these players that I have brought in could also end up at Crystal Palace, apart from maybe Lukeba. He's at Leipzig, but then again, I don't know. I mean, anything is possible at this stage, but I'm very happy with this team that we have built, and we don't necessarily have any big, massive names in it this time around. And well, Atletico Madrid do have some big names. Alvarez and Evanilson in the striking position, Gittins, Barella, Thuram, and Bowen in midfield. What the hell? Javi Galan, Reinildo in that left side of the defense. Timber is playing as a right back for them with Juan Garcia in goal. But Chouameni on the bench, Ben White as well. I mean, there could be some changes to the starting 11, which makes it even stronger. It's the next day now, and I've seen so much coverage going about this Crystal Palace finale and the victory. I've seen Roy Keane, Ian Wright talk about it. I've seen Crystal Palace fans talk about it. Honestly, man, it's such a joy to see a club like this pick up the FA Cup, especially when you consider how much it means to them. Newcastle wins the Carabao Cup. It means a ton to those fans. Crystal Palace wins it. It's the world to them. This is football, man. This is why we love to watch this game every single weekend. And I'm very happy that Liverpool won the Premier League title, Newcastle won the Carabao Cup, and Crystal Palace picked up a beautiful FA Cup. Oh, that's mine. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Mio, keep going. Keep doing what you do, Mio. I have no idea what I've just done. I swear, I was just thinking, how the hell do I get out of this situation? Mio scores in the name of Eze, who has obviously scored the most important goal in Crystal Palace's history. He will be forever a legend. And I'm kind of upset that he didn't grow in our team, but at the same time, we tried to keep it somewhat realistic. Genuinely speaking, how many of those top-performing players at Crystal Palace do you believe will stick around? Down the right, Konate, over to Rodgers. Keep running, lads. Cross whipped in, Barry. Imitating Mateta. Should have done better. Oh, yes. Solid. It's in. It's actually in. Number 35 has scored. It is our Spanish CDM. 26 minutes in. Atletico Madrid cannot believe what is happening right now. Uh-oh. That was bad. That was really bad. Alvarez lobs the keeper. It's 2-1 with plenty of time to go. Hold on a second. Barry is done with stamina, man. I need to take him out. Nketiah comes in. Rakzaki now comes in. Actually, no. Munoz comes in. He deserves it. Sar on that left-hand side for me. Dokore coming on for... Actually, no. Let's leave Wharton on. And then Lacroix can come in for... I guess Lukeba is a bit more tired. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. I am actually in trouble. Whew. All good. We survived! Crystal Palace have won the Champions League. Champions. That's what it says on the bus. Premier League and Champions League trophy next to it. Is anyone else up for the Ballon d'Or for us as well? Figo, who's winning it? It's gonna be one of ours, my friends. It is Karim Konate, who had the best numbers at the end of the season. Yet again, another player that a team like Crystal Palace could easily pick up, especially now that they've won the FA Cup and have won access to the Europa League now. It is possible. Guys, I have really enjoyed today's football. Watching the game was a beauty, and I gotta say, well, Crystal Palace, you deserve it. Manchester City will probably be back strong again next season. Let's not forget about their ability to spend big in the transfer market. And even if they don't, their team is still very good, even though losing KDB is tough. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Take care and peace.